And then we'll start the music over. Okay. All right. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back. I hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving break. Probably felt a little different, but at least having some time to relax as much as possible. So today's flow, I decided we're going to do a digestive kind of flow. I know that even though our Thanksgiving might have been a little different, we probably indulged on things that we normally don't. So to get our digestive tract, our enzymes going, we're going to do a lot of twist today because that's like a nice little internal massage for our organs. But again, if any of the poses, any of the flow just doesn't feel good, just backing off on it, no judgment. You don't have to do anything, just feeling what feels good to you today. I know for me, I'm like a little more like, oh, I haven't practiced in a bit. So just being really kind to yourself, giving us ourselves grace during this time of year. So we're going to start in a nice seated position. It can be crisscross or coming into easy pose. If this doesn't feel good on the knees or the hips, you can always have your legs out or even sitting up on your shins. Just coming into a nice, comfortable seat, whatever that looks like. And then we'll begin to root the sit bones down into the earth, lengthening the spine all the way to the crown of the head. So you can keep your hands on top of your thighs if that feels good. Or if it feels right with your practice today, you can place your left hand over your heart, over your chest. And then you can place your right hand over the belly. Just finding that connection with the body, with the mind, with the spirit. And because this flow is all about digestion, sometimes it's nice to warm up your practice or even during your day to rub your belly nice and slow in a clockwise direction. So up on the right side and down through the left. You can always find a bit more stillness in your practice if you need to. Just taking a big inhale in. And then finding a nice long exhale out. Begin to sink into your practice, letting go of anything that you've been holding on thus far in today. Dropping any tension. Just paying attention to the breath, checking in with the body. And if it feels good, just feel the air expand in the chest, expand in the belly. And then just emptying it all out nice and slow. Even though we can't see the air or see our breath, we can feel it flowing up and down through the body, just giving us life. And then if it resonates with you, you can set an intention for your practice today. It can be a positive affirmation, or maybe it's something that you need to release, something that no longer serves or benefits you. All intentions are welcome. So no overthinking, just let everything come naturally and let it sink in. We'll take one more big breath in. And then a deeper exhale out. If your hands are on your belly and your chest, just coming down on tops of the knees and keeping the eyes closed, we'll take the chin towards the chest. And then gently circle the head in one direction, nice and slow. And then circling the reverse way whenever you're ready. Once your chin meets the chest, we'll begin to blink the eyes open nice and softly, and then take the gaze all the way towards center. On your next breath in, we'll lift the arms, reach them all the way up. And then exhale, let them gently float down by your side. Twice more. Inhale, root the sit bones down, but lift the upper body up. And then exhale, releasing it all. Last time, big inhale in. And then deeper exhale out. So we're just gonna take our hands right on top of our knees again. And on your next inhale, we're gonna pull the chest forward. And it doesn't have to be that deep, it can just be a few inches in front. And then on the exhale, begin to really engage the core, belly towards the spine, and then rounding the upper back. And then we'll circle all the way towards the front again. So just nice, big circles, engaging the belly. And then pulling the heart forward. So I encourage you to move really nice and slow, no fast movements needed. Just feeling those internal organs getting a nice little massage. And then maybe add in the shoulders and the elbows to help you spin around just a little more. And if it feels good, you can always close your eyes. Begin to take that focus towards the core, towards the center of the body. And then reversing whenever it feels right. Taking a big breath as you come forward and really releasing, using those abdominal walls as you release back. So in yoga, I always say, like, using the breath is the best thing, especially for your digestive system. You don't want any short, restrictive breaths. You want nice, big belly breaths, loosening the muscles, trying to not get them so tight. And then when you're ready, we'll come all the way back up. If you have your legs crossed, just taking that opposite foot in front of you, balancing ourselves out. Might feel a little different in the knees and the hips, but that's totally okay. So on your next breath in, we'll lift the arms up again. Gaze is looking in between the fingers. And then exhale, take that right hand down onto the mat, and then lift that left arm all the way up. Exhale, maybe begin to lean over to the right just a bit more. Still rooting that left sit bone down into the earth. Feeling that nice side body stretch. And we'll just take another big deep breath in. Long exhale out. Inhale, lift both arms all the way up. And then exhale, take the left hand down, lift that top arm all the way up. And then exhale, begin to lean over to the left. And again, always backing off if that's too intense. Just finding your range of motion today. And then we'll inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, begin to spin to the right. Left hand comes onto the left knee, and then right hand right behind you. We'll inhale, lift the spine all the way to the crown of the head, nice and tall. And then exhale, begin to spin around to the right just a bit more. Nothing too intense. And then the head and neck are the last thing to spin around. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, we'll take the arms all the way up towards center. And then exhale, spinning to the opposite side. We'll inhale, lift the spine. And then exhale, again, begin to twist just a bit. Taking a big belly breath in. Nice release out. Inhale the arms all the way up. And then exhale, take the fingertips towards the back. Inhale the chest up. And then exhale, we'll just take the hands out in front of us. Maybe sway a little side to side. So you can stay up on your fingertips or palms if that's enough. If it feels good, maybe walk the hands over towards the right. So a little twist while seated up. And then maybe walk the hands, see what's going on the other side. And then we'll meet back towards center. Forearms can be on the floor, a block or pillow if that feels good. And just dropping the head for a moment. On your next breath in, we'll lift all the way up. You can roll over your knees if that feels good, or just come to a side seat and we'll all meet up into a nice tabletop. So the wrists right over the shoulders, knees right underneath the hips. Nice long spine. On your next breath in, lower the belly, open up the chest, and the gaze looks up. Exhale, round the upper back, belly to spine, chin to chest. And just a few more times. Inhale, open up the heart. And then exhale, round the upper back, begin to push up and out of the earth. Just a couple more times, just following your breath. Just finding movement in the body. And if it feels good, you can also sway a little side to side, just warming up the spine in a different direction. Just see what's going on in the body today. So we'll come and find a nice neutral spine again. Gaze is looking straight down, fingertips spread nice and wide. And we'll tuck the toes under, keep the knees bent, and we'll send the hips all the way up and back through downward facing dog. So then maybe pedal out the feet and do a little dance. Again, just finding some movement. Gently opening up the backs of the legs. This is probably your first inversion of the day. Maybe it's your first inversion since the last time we practiced. I think this might be mine. So being really gentle with yourself. And then we'll find a bit of stillness in our downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift up onto the tippy toes, and then exhale the heels down towards the mat. No worries if they don't touch. And again, inhale up onto the toes, exhale the heels down. Last time, inhale up. And then exhale down. Slight bend in the knees. We'll inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat, meaning to slowly walk or crawl yourself all the way to the top of the mat. Once you make your way there, folding over the legs, nice, generous bend in the knees. If it feels good, grab them onto opposite elbow, swaying side to side in ragdoll. And maybe taking a big belly breath in here. Just let yourself drop into the practice. We'll let go of whatever you have going on, and then pressing down through the feet, we'll slowly roll up one notch at a time. Once you make your way up, take a moment, loop the shoulders down the back, inhale the arms all the way up. Gaze looks in between the thumbs, and then exhale, hands come to heart center. Big breath in, bigger breath out. Slight bend in the knees. Inhale, we'll reach and sweep our arms all the way up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. We're on a swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can be on top of the thighs or the shins. And then exhale, forward fold. 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Loop the shoulders down the spine. And then exhale, forward fold. Last time, inhale, nice flat back. And then exhale, floating down into forward fold. So we'll plant the hands down and then just step back to plank pose. Maybe find a little movement rocking forward and back, maybe even side to side. And then when you're ready, we'll just lower the knees down and then bend the elbows all the way down to the belly. And then flatten the toes onto the mat. On your next inhale, we'll lift the chest up just an inch for baby cobra. And then exhale down. Inhale, maybe a little higher this time. And then exhale down with control. Last time, inhale maybe to a full cobra. Hold for one breath. And then exhale down with control. So before we make our way back up, just begin to stack your hands on top of each other and then place your forehead down onto the hands. We're just going to breathe here for 3 rounds of breath and really try to expand the belly. So this pressure from the belly to the earth is really good. So just concentrating on the breath. If you hear your belly gurgling, that's okay. That means it's just doing something, and that's really good. And just getting those digestive enzymes revved up. And then when you're ready, we'll slide our hands underneath the shoulders and then elbows pointing straight back. We'll tuck the toes under and then pressing all the way up, lift the sit bones up and back, downward facing dog. And again, pedaling out the heels just for a breath or two. On your next breath in, we'll gaze towards the top of the mat. And again, just slowly stepping all the way up. On your next breath in, we'll lift halfway up. And then exhale, forward fold. You're going to slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Loop the shoulders back, lift the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, chest meets the thumbs. And then exhale, release. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then exhale, we'll dive all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take the hands down, stepping back to plank pose. Stay for the breath in. On the breath out, lower the knees down and then coming down to the belly again. So we'll inhale up to cobra. Stay here if this is enough. If you want to come into upward facing dog, you're going to press into the tops of the feet, lift the hips up, pulling the chest forward and engaging the glutes. And then we'll all meet back up into a downward facing dog. One breath here, one breath out. Inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, maybe this time taking a nice big step all the way to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time we'll inhale, root to rise all the way to standing, lifting the arms, lifting the gaze. And then exhale, hands come to heart center. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, reach all the way up. And then exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take the hands down, stepping back to plank pose. Stay for the breath in. On the breath out, lower down, either halfway or all the way. Inhale for cobra, upward facing dog. And then exhale, we'll all meet back into our downward facing. Inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat. And exhale, either step, hop, or float yourself all the way to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way to standing. Exhale, hands come down, heart center. So really concentrate here just for a moment. We're gonna spread the toes really wide, digging it into the earth. And engaging the core and the glutes a bit, lengthening up the spine, closing the eyes. And just connecting to some mindfulness here. Just connecting that energy of your practice. Not just here to get a workout, but really get a connection with ourselves. So we'll take a big breath in. Deep exhale out. Twice more. Inhale in. Exhale out. One more cleansing breath. Big breath in. And then sigh it out. Beautiful. So we'll inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take the hands down and step or hop all the way back. Stay for the breath in. On the breath out, lower down. Inhale, cobra, upward facing. And then exhale, downward facing dog. On your next breath in, we'll lift the left toes up. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Maybe circle out the ankle or circle out the hip if that feels good. And then we'll straighten up that leg, squaring off the hips. And then on your exhale, take the knee towards the chest and then pull the foot through the hands, a low lunge. So from here, we're gonna keep our right hand down. It can always be on a block if you need more leverage or even a book. And then we'll inhale, lift that left arm all the way up. So we're really twisting from the belly. And we'll just stay here for a couple more breaths. And then exhale, take the left hand back down to the mat. Left foot meets the right. And then you can go straight into downward facing dog or take your flow. When you're ready, we'll inhale that right leg up, bend the knee, open up the hip, and then circling out that right ankle, circling, open the hip. And then we'll straighten out that top leg, square off the hips. And then we'll take the knee towards the belly, pull the right foot through the hands, low lunge. Settling in here. Again, the left hand can come onto a block or even a pillow. And then we'll inhale, lift that right arm up, twisting open towards that front leg. Really twisting from the belly. One breath in. One breath out. And we'll take the right hand back down towards the mat. Right foot meets the left, going straight to downward facing dog or take your flow. Once you make it back to your downward facing dog, taking one full breath in, one full breath out. Inhale, gaze towards the top, and step or hop yourself all the way to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way to standing, lifting the arms. And then exhale, pulling the hands down the heart center. Big breath in. Big breath out. Sweep the arms all the way up on an inhale. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take the hands down, step or hop all the way back. Stay for the breath in. On the breath out, lower down. Inhale for cobra, upward facing. And then exhale, taking the hips all the way back and up, downward facing dog. So we'll inhale, lift that top leg up again, bend the knee, open up the hip just for a breath. And then straighten out the leg. And we'll take the knee towards the chest, hold. And then pull that left foot through the hands, low lunge. So for this time, we're going to twist to the left again. So taking that top arm all the way up. Hold for one breath in, one breath out. So keeping in this pose, we're just going to slowly lower that back knee down to the ground. And then take the left fingertips towards the mat. And then we're going to take the hips all the way back for half split. Inhale, lengthen up the spine. And exhale, just folding over that front leg just for a breath. We'll slowly roll all the way towards the front. Tuck that back toe, lift the back knee, and then really engage the core, and we'll lift all the way up, high lunge. So really pulling both inner thighs towards midline, that'll help you with your balance and feeling nice and strong in this pose. So on your next breath in, we're gonna
Straighten up that front leg. And then exhale, begin to open up the arms to the left, twisting, coming back and bending that front knee. 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Last time, inhale up. And then exhale, twist. Inhale all the way back up towards our high lunge. And then exhale, take the hands back down to the ground. The left foot meets the right. And then take your flow. Just settling here for a breath in our downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale, lift the right toes up, bend knee, open up the hip just for a breath. And then inhale that right leg nice and straight, squaring off the hips. Exhale, knee comes to the belly, to the chest, hold. And then pull that right foot in between the hands, low lunge. Inhale, begin to twist open to the right. Gaze is looking at those top fingertips. And then we'll lower that back knee down to the ground nice and carefully. And then take the right hand down back to the mat. And we'll send the hips all the way back, flexing those right toes. Inhale, lengthen out the spine. And then exhale, folding over that front leg. Inhale, begin to slowly pull the heart forward. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Really finding your foundation, and then we'll lift all the way up, high lunge. Making sure the shoulders are right over the hips. And then on your next breath in, we'll straighten up that leg, lift all the way up. Exhale, begin to twist open to the right, bend that knee. 2 more times, inhale up. Exhale, twist. Last time, inhale up. Exhale, twist. And we'll come all the way back towards center in our high lunge. Inhale, lifting the fingertips just an inch more. And then exhale, taking them down to the ground. Right foot meets the left. And then take your flow. And we'll take one breath here. One breath out. On your next breath in, begin to hop or step all the way to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way to standing, lifting the arms. Exhale, pulling down the hands to heart center. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way up. Exhale, hinge up the hips, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take the hands down, step or hop all the way back to plank pose. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale for cobra or upward facing. And then exhale all the way back, downward facing dog. And from here, we'll inhale, lift the left leg up. This time, no bending the knee, but see if you can flex that foot like you're holding up that back wall. So hips are square to mat, and then the left glutes really engaged. And still pulling the chest through the arms. Get one breath in. On the breath out, take the knee towards the belly, and then we'll take the foot in between the hands, a little lunge. And again, we'll inhale, twisting towards that front bent knee. And then this time, we're going to take the left hand, switch it with the right, and then pull that right heel, back heel down to the ground, and inhale that right arm all the way up. On your next breath in, coming all the way up, warrior two. And again, just checking in with your stance, seeing what's going on here, just for a breath. On your next breath in, we'll tip the back reverse. And then exhale, coming over to the front side to extended side angle. Really pulling that left hip back towards you. And pressing down through that forearm, giving more space between the shoulder and the ear. And then on your next inhale, we'll tip it back again, reverse. And then exhale, begin to cartwheel the hands down to the ground. So this time we're just going to heel toe our left foot off to the mat. And you can stay here if this is enough, or maybe lower that back knee down. Coming into lizard pose. So staying up on the hands might be enough. You can even come up onto blocks or pillows to give you a little more leverage if needed. If you have the space, you can always drop your forearms down to any prop that you have. And maybe even coming to the edge of your left foot, opening up the hip just a bit more. Let your crown of the head be nice and heavy. Maybe even closing the eyes here. And we'll just stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. When you're ready, we'll come back up onto our hands, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, and then heel toe your foot back towards midline. Spin that back heel down again, and we'll inhale all the way up, warrior two. Inhale, we'll reverse, straighten up that front leg, reverse triangle. And then we'll come all the way back up towards center. This time, we're gonna shift the weight towards the front. Drop that left hand down, maybe it's on top of the thigh, the shin, or even to a block. But coming into any variation of triangle. Keeping that top arm nice and long. Or maybe that top hand comes to that right hip, maybe to the low back, or maybe even finds that left hip crease, opening up the chest and the shoulder just a bit more. And then we'll inhale that top arm all the way up. And then exhale that hand back down to the ground. And then the left hand is on the opposite side. So we're going to come into our pyramid pose. So sometimes people like a longer length stance. Some people like to kick their back leg up and have a shorter stance. It just kind of depends on how it feels. But once you get wherever it feels good, we'll inhale, lengthen up the spine. And then exhale, begin to fold into that front leg. Taking one breath here. One breath out. Begin to bend that front leg, coming into that low lunge again. And then the left foot meets the right. Going straight to downward facing dog, or take your flow. Then we'll all meet back up into our downward facing dog, taking one breath in, one breath out. On your next breath in, lift the right leg up and then flex the foot. Keep the hips nice and square to the mat. Engaging that right glute. I'm still pressing down through all 10 knuckles of the hands. Inhale, lift that heel just an inch higher. And then exhale, knee to chest, so knee to nose. We'll pull that right foot in between the hands. The left hand stays on the ground, and we'll lift that right arm all the way up into our twist. Exhale, take the right fingertips down, replacing that left hand. Spin that back heel down, and we'll twist open to the left. On your next breath in, pulling all the way up, warrior two. So just checking in with that front knee, making sure that it's right over the ankle or a little behind it. Shoulders are stacked over the hips. Arms are nice and long. And even though we're strong in our pose, also finding the balance of softness. Don't want to be too rigid, just finding a little bit of harmony within ourselves. And then on your next breath in, we'll reverse it back. And then exhale, coming forward. Extended side angle. So rooting through that back foot, reaching all the way up, lengthening the side body. Staying here for one more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, reverse. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the ground. And then we'll just heel toe that right foot off to the right of the mat. So you can stay up or maybe lower that back knee down. Either staying up on the hands or coming down to the forearms if that feels okay. And sometimes it feels nice to roll on the outside of that right foot. Just see what's going on in the body right now. Maybe closing the eyes. Breathing into the hips. And we'll stay here for one more round of breath. When you're ready, if you're on your forearms, coming back up to your hands, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then we'll heel toe our foot towards center. And then spin that back heel down and inhale all the way up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse, straighten up that front leg for reverse triangle. And then coming all the way up towards center. We'll shift the weight towards the front and drop that right hand down, whether it's on the thigh or the shin or even the block. You can always place a nice little bend in that front knee if you need to. And if you want to try to take that top arm to the top hip or to the low back, or even finding that right hip crease, rolling that left shoulder open just a bit more. Finding just a little bit of softness here. Finding the breath, staying nice and calm. And if you have your left arm on your hip crease or low back, we'll inhale it all the way up. Exhale, take that left hand down towards the mat, and then the right hand comes on the opposite side. Coming into pyramid pose, if you need to kick your back leg up just a bit, we'll lengthen up the spine. And then exhale, just dropping in. Just sending the breath to the back of the leg to open up. Full breath in. Full breath out. You're going to slowly bend that front knee, and the right foot meets the left. And then this time, we're just going to drop the knees down, big toes touch together, and spreading the knees as wide as comfortable. Sending the hips back, coming down into extended child's pose. Just letting the forehead or the third eye come down to the mat. Take a big breath in, inflating the belly nice and big. And then exhale, releasing, emptying everything out. Take this time just to connect with yourself, connect with the earth, just connecting with the breath. Letting the body be nice and heavy. Feeling as if the body is just melting down into the floor. When you're ready, we'll slowly begin to press ourselves all the way up. And then just coming to a nice side seat. We'll carefully and slowly swing our legs towards the front. Or maybe centering ourselves if you need to. Maybe shaking out the legs a bit. So actually I'm gonna face you for this one. So we're going to bend our right knee and take the sole of the feet into the inner left thigh. If you have the space and you want a little more of a challenge, you can see if you can put your right foot into the left hip crease. Again, that might not feel good on the knees or the hips at all, so do not worry about it, but the option is there. So we'll inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, hinge at the hips just a bit. And then exhale, let the hands fall wherever they may. Maybe it's the thigh, maybe it's the calf, maybe it's even the toes. As long as you're not trying to force your way there, just feeling a nice warm yummy stretch in the back of the leg. And then begin to round in. Taking a few breaths here. And we'll just take another full breath in. Full breath out. And we'll slowly roll ourselves all the way up. And we'll take that knee and let's point it towards the ceiling. And we'll take our right foot and place it on the opposite side of our left leg. Taking that right hand right behind us, you can always place it on a block or a pillow to give you a little more leverage. And we'll inhale that left arm all the way. Exhale, begin to twist to the right. Using that arm against that leg, just a little more leverage. We'll inhale, lengthen up the spine. And then exhale, twisting just a bit more. This is a nice, juicy twist, really getting into the digestive system. Nice, calm breaths here. And then when you're ready, we'll come back towards center and just give your shin a nice squeeze, lengthening up. And then we'll just let the right foot meet the left again if you need to shake out the legs a bit. And then we'll take that left sole of the foot into the inner right thigh. And again, if it feels good, you can always take that foot into the right hip crease. Because when you fold over, sometimes your belly will expand into that foot or the heel, and actually it's a nice little massage. But again, if that is not accessible, do not worry about it. So we'll inhale the arms up, and then exhale, begin to hinge at the hips. Let the hands fall wherever they may. Each side's a little different, so no worries. And then just rounding in. Sending the breath to open up the back of the leg just a bit more. One more breath in. One more breath out. And we slowly roll ourselves all the way up. Take that knee, point it towards the ceiling, and then take the foot on the opposite side of that straight leg. Take that left hand behind you, and it can be on a prop again if that feels better. Lift that right arm all the way up. Exhale, twisting over to the left side, using that arm against the leg as leverage. And again, we'll inhale, lengthen up. And then exhale, begin to twist yourself just a bit more. Twisting from the belly, twisting from the core. And we'll come all the way back towards center. And then just taking the foot all the way back, straightening it out, shaking out the legs if need to, maybe even pointing and flexing the feet a bit. And then when you're ready, we'll just slowly roll down one notch at a time, all the way onto our backs. Once you make it there, we'll bend the right knee, pull the shin in towards the chest. Again, if it feels good, point and flex the foot, maybe circle it out. And then taking the right arm out to a half T, we'll slowly guide our knee down towards the left. Try to keep that right shoulder onto the floor. And gaze is looking over to the right fingertips. Notice if you're holding on to any tension. See if you can just breathe out of it. Let the body soften just a bit more. You can stay here a bit longer if you feel that it's needed. But if you're with me, just taking that knee back into the chest, giving a nice good squeeze. Sending it down to meet the left. And we'll pull in that left knee, left shin into the chest. Point and flex the foot, rolling out the ankle. And then taking the left arm out into a half T. We'll slowly guide the left knee down towards the right. Keeping that left shoulder onto the ground. Gaze is looking over the left fingertips. Maybe closing the eyes. Letting the body settle. Just relaxing into the restorative twist. When you're ready, we'll take that left knee back towards center and give it a last good squeeze. And then we'll send that left leg to meet the right. Coming into Shavasana. If you need a pillow underneath the knees or the neck, rolling up a blanket, just finding whatever pose is relaxing for you. Just finding that sweet spot to settle in. And once you find that sweet spot, just tucking the chin just a centimeter in, lengthen out the back of the neck. Taking a big breath in, maybe the biggest breath you've taken in all day. Pause at the top. And then exhale nice and slow. Begin to relax the toes, the soles, the feet, and the ankles. Relaxing the calves, the knees, and the tops of the thighs. Softening the hips and the pelvis. And then letting this peaceful sensation flow all the way up through the spine, into the belly, into the chest. Melting the shoulders down into the earth. Relaxing the arms all the way down to the fingertips. Letting them naturally curl in. Relaxing the jaw. And softening the space between your brows. Letting yourself become one with the earth, one with the source, and one with the self.
When you're ready, begin to slowly come back to the room, back to your body, back to your natural pace of breath. Wiggling out the fingertips and the toes. Taking a nice big stretch like you're waking up in the morning. And if it feels good, just rolling over to your favorite side into fetal pose. Once you make your way there, taking a calm breath in and a calm breath out. Now at the bottom of the exhale, slowly begin to press yourself all the way to a comfortable seat. And once you make your way there, just taking the hands back to heart center, just plugging them into the sternum, feeling that breath of life just flow in and out of you. And then we'll bow the chin in gratitude for taking this time, not only for yourself, but for your practice as well. I hope you all feel a little bit stronger, a little more brighter, and a little more at peace. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Well, thank you everyone for coming today and just showing up for yourselves onto your mat. It's like the hardest thing to do, but I'm so proud of all of you, and I'm just so grateful as your instructor and as your teacher to teach you all this year, even though this year hasn't been the kindest to most. I am just so grateful for each and one of you. And I know that I'm sad this is our last session for the year, but I hope all of you enjoy any time that you have off, enjoy the holidays, and I hope to see you next year. Bye, everyone.